Hello, my students. I am Mr. Bashir Al-Shafi from Anwar Modern Private School. Our lesson today is about direct and indirect speech. Are you finding indirect and reported speech a bit of a challenge? Is it still unclear as to change from direct to indirect? So join me in this video. In this lesson we are going to focus on direct and indirect statements. Let's start. Indirect or reported speech. When we want to report what someone else has said, we usually use a special formulation called indirect or reported speech. First, part 1, statements. Okay? For example, here, John said, "I often come here." When I want to ask a question, what did John say? John said that he often came here. What has changed, my dear students, here? Number 1, the pronoun has changed to indicate the person who spoke I to he. For example, number 1, here in the first example, John said I. This pronoun I, it changed into the pronoun he. Okay, what else has changed, my dear students? The verb of the original sentence has changed its tense, come to came. For the first sentence, I often come here. In the second sentence, he often came here. So the changes are the pronoun I changes into he, and the verb come changes into came in the indirect statements. Here this is direct sentence and this is indirect sentence. So we have changes the pronoun and the original verb. Number 3, the two parts of reporting verb and reported sentence can connected with that or without that. Look here, my dear students, we can put that or delete that. So I put it here between two brackets. So we can say John said that he often came here, or you can just delete that and say John said he often came here. Okay, my dear students, note that if the reporting verb is in the present, there is no tense change. Be careful. If the reporting verb is in the present, there is no tense change. For example, when I say, John, I often come here. This is a direct speech, okay? When I want to ask a question, what is John saying? So the answer will be, he is saying that he often comes here. So there is no change, no tense change. Why? Because the reporting verb is in the present. Okay? Let's move to the second part, my students. The most common reporting verbs for statements are say, tell, and explain. Be careful that with say and explain you have to specify the person, use the preposition to. For example, he said to her. They explained to us. Reporting verbs for statements. Okay? With tell, you should specify the person. He told her, they told us. Okay, my dear students. Tense changes. The tense of the original sentence, it changes as follows. Let's start with number 1, verb to be and modal verbs. Am is changed to was. Was were changed to had been. Can changed to could. And must maybe stays must, no changes, or you can change to it to had to. May changes to might, may might. And might changes to might, the same. Could, maybe could, or you can change it to had been able to. Shall changes to should, and should changes to should or stays the same, should. Okay, ought to, okay, my dear students, these are the verb to be and modal verbs. Now, simple tense, changes in simple tense. For example, do and does change to did, and did to had done. Will do changes to would do. Perfect tenses, has done or have done changes to had done. Had done changes to had done or stays the same, had done. Will have done changes to would have done. Number 4, continuous tenses. Am is are doing changes to was or were doing. Have been doing or has been doing changes to had been doing. Was were doing changes to had been doing. And had been doing changes to had been doing or stays the same, had been doing. Will be doing changes to would be doing. Will have been doing, it changes to would have been doing. Used to, other, not related to continuous tense, these other words, used to, no change. They will stay the same, used to. Here, my dear students, if we have time markers that change. Time markers sometimes need to change to keep the sense of a sentence. Time marker sometimes need to change to keep the sense of the sentence. For example, she said, I'll call you tomorrow. So here, the time marker here, tomorrow, it will change to, she said she would call me the next day or the following day. So we can change it tomorrow to the next day or the following day. Another time marker, yesterday changes to the day before. For example, John told her, I handed in the report yesterday. It will become, John told her he had handed in the report the day before. So yesterday changes to the day before. Next and other words. For example, if next day is the following day, next week the following week, okay? The next changes to the following. For example, we told him we're coming back next week. So the time marker here, next, it will be the following week. We told him we were coming back the following week. Okay, my dear students, other words that change, you have to put it in your mind. The word this and that changes to that and those. Okay, my dear students, she said this is the last bus. So it will become, she said that was the last bus. They told us we've chosen this box. They told us they had chosen those box. These changes to those. Okay. Here changes to there if the location has changed. If we have the word here in a sentence, you can change it to there if the location has changed. For example, we've been living here for 20 years. The answer, they said they had been living there for 20 years. They said they had been living there for 20 years. Would like changes to want. But remember, I'd like to is a formal equivalent of I want, used only in the present tense. To report a sentence with this expression, use the verb want. For example, she said, I'd like to be a singer. If we want to change it into indirect statements, indirect speech, it will become, she said she wanted to be a singer. For example, he said, I'd like some rice, please. It will change to, he said he wanted some rice here. Why? Because the word I'd like, we can change it to want. Okay, my dear students, let's do some exercise about reported speech in statements. Okay, number 1. Put the following sentences into indirect speech. He said, I haven't found my book yet. So you can say, he said that. You can write that or delete, no problem. And the word or the pronoun I, it will change to he. And haven't found it, it will change it to hadn't found his book yet. And instead of my, it will change it to his. So he said, I haven't found my book yet. It will become, he said that he hadn't found his book yet. Another example, they said, we aren't ready. So they said that, my dear students, look here, that. And instead of the pronoun we, it will change to they, and aren't, it will change to weren't. We aren't ready, they weren't ready. He told me I can call you back tomorrow. Look here, my dear students, we have time marker here, tomorrow, and the pronoun and the modal verb can. So it will be, he told me, I changes to he, and can changes to could, call, and instead of you, me, and the tomorrow, it will changes to the next day. Okay, my dear students, let's move to another question. We said we will stay here for a while. So the answer will be, we said we would stay here for a while. We would stay there for a while. Be careful here, my dear students. We have we here stems the say and will changes to would, stay. Instead of here, because we changes the location, it will be there. So we said we will stay here for a while. We said we would stay there for a while. Andrew said, let's move to another question. Andrew said, I couldn't buy the new game. So the answer would be, Andrew said he hadn't been able to, because we have said before, could maybe stay the same or changes to had been able to. And here with negative, you have to put the negative with the new sentence. So couldn't, it will change to hadn't been able to buy the new game. Okay, my dear students, thank you for listening, and have a good day. Thank you.